You might be holding history and value in your pocket. A simple Lincoln penny could fetch hundreds or even thousands if it's the right year and condition. The year 1966 was a transitional moment for the Lincoln cent and for American coinage. Overall, collectors often glance over this date because the penny was struck in huge numbers and because no mint mark varieties were used in that year. Yet beneath the surface lies an important story of how the mint was operating under new conditions and how this coin came to symbolize the turbulence of its time. In 1965, the United States Mint stopped placing mint marks on coins, and this practice lasted until 1967. The reason was a combination of coin shortages and a belief that mint marks were causing collectors to hoard coins in unprecedented numbers. By removing mint marks, the government hoped to reduce the frenzy around particular issues and push coins back into circulation. That means every 1966 penny, whether it was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, carries no visible mint mark. This decision is an essential part of the story because it makes the 1966 cent appear more common than it really is. The design itself carried forward the familiar Lincoln portrait, introduced in 1909 on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which had been introduced in 1959. The composition was still 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which makes these coins heavier than the modern copper-plated zinc cents introduced in 1980. To collectors can often feel the difference in weight and tone when they handle one of these mid-century copper cents. The sound of the coin, when dropped on a table, also differs from modern cents, which is one subtle way numismatists distinguish older copper pennies from newer ones. Most circulated 1966 pennies are quite ordinary and worth only face value. However, the story does not end there. The value of a 1966 Lincoln penny depends heavily on condition and rarity of striking errors. Special mint sets were also produced during this year in place of proof sets. These SMS coins were struck with extra care using polished dies and higher pressure, which gives them sharper details than standard circulation strikes. The 1966 SMS pennies often show strong luster and attractive finishes, and high-grade examples can be very desirable. Among collectors, era coins are another major factor. A double die example of the 1966 cent is known, and these are highly sought after. Double die refers to the doubling of design elements often seen on the date or lettering, and collectors will pay hundreds for such a coin, depending on grade. Off-center strikes, clipped plankets, and broad strikes are other era varieties that can give this otherwise common year special value. Now let us look at actual values. A typical worn 1966 penny from circulation is worth just a cent, perhaps two, if the coin is in extremely fine condition. When you move into uncirculated territory, the value increases. Mint state coins graded in the 60s may sell for a few dollars. Red examples in MS65 or MS66 condition can trade between $5 and $12 a gem. Red example graded MS67 is very rare, and auction records show that such coins can sell for over $1,000. One famous sale in 2012 saw a superb MS67 red bring more than $6,000 at auction, which stunned collectors and proved that condition can transform a common coin into a true prize. Special mint set examples also command attention. A 1966 SMS Lincoln penny in SP67 or higher can fetch strong prices, with cameo or deep cameo contrast bringing premiums. One such SMS coin sold for more than $2,000 in the early 2000s, showing that the SMS series is an important niche for collectors who want high-quality mid-60s coins. To summarize, the 1966 Lincoln penny is not rare in circulation. It holds a unique place in American coinage history because it was struck during the 3-year period when mint marks were omitted. This makes all examples look identical, but in reality some came from different mints, with most pieces being only worth face value. Collectors often overlook this coin, yet those who search carefully may discover high-grade red mint state coin, special mint set varieties, or unusual mint errors. These can push the value from a few dollars all the way into the thousands. For everyday collectors, the 1966 penny offers a piece of mid-century history. It reflects a time when the mint was responding to economic pressures, coin shortages, and changing public behavior. While most pieces will never be worth more than a cent, a select few carry impressive premiums and stand as proof that even the most ordinary dates can hide treasures. Most are worth face value in circulation and circulated mint state. Examples can reach about $10 to $12. Exceptional red MS-67 coins have sold for several thousand. Special mint set examples with cameo finish can also sell for over $2,000. Next up, the 1975 Lincoln cent may not immediately strike collectors as a remarkable coin, but when we look deeper into its history, condition, rarity, and occasional surprises, it becomes a fascinating study in how small details separate common coins from hidden treasures. The year 1975 sits right in the middle of a period when the Lincoln Memorial reverse had been in use for over 15 years, and the coin was a familiar sight in every pocket purse and cash register across the United States. Millions of them were minted, and yet within those countless numbers, a select few pieces carry real value. First letters set the stage. The coin still followed the composition that had been in place since 1909, with 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. This classic composition gives the coin a distinct weight and feel, and when handled it has a warmer tone compared to modern copper-plated zinc cents introduced in the early 1980s. The obverse continued to feature Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, which had now become one of the longest-running designs in American coinage history. The reverse carried Frank Gasparo's depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, with the tiny seated statue of Lincoln visible at the center when examined with a magnifying glass. Now to the minting itself. The Philadelphia Mint struck the bulk of the 1975 cents without a mint mark, while Denver issued coins with the small d mint mark under the date. The San Francisco had produced proof coins that year for collectors, which were struck with polished dies and multiple strikes to achieve brilliant finishes. Proof coins from San Francisco carry the S mint mark and are especially popular with hobbyists. Assembling complete Lincoln cent sets in circulated condition, the 1975 penny is usually worth face value. Only most coins from everyday change are heavily worn, and unless they exhibit some special feature, they remain common. However, condition makes a tremendous difference. When a coin has survived with original red colorful luster and no major marks, it may grade mint state. These are the coins that collectors chase, and this is where value climbs. Auction records show that typical mint state examples in grades like MS-64 or MS-65 may bring between a few dollars and about $15. With MS-66 red examples, prices can push higher toward $20 or more. It is when we enter the upper echelons of grading like MS-67 or MS-68 that serious money comes into play. An MS-67 red 1975 penny can bring hundreds of dollars, and in some reported cases values have touched the four-figure mark, with a remarkable MS-68 red example once commanding nearly $4,000 at public auction. This demonstrates how scarce true gems of this date can be, and how much collectors are willing to pay for perfection. The proof coins of 1975 deserve their own mention. Proof cents were made in smaller numbers for collector sets, and they were struck with exceptional detail, cameo, and deep cameo finishes, where the frosted devices contrast against mirror-like fields, are especially prized. A standard proof might trade for just a few dollars, but a high-grade deep cameo can reach into the triple digits. These are small treasures that highlight the beauty of the design and the skill of the mint engravers. Era coins from 1975 are also part of the story of center strikes, double dies, and other striking mistakes are all possible, and some of these errors can fetch substantial premiums. A double die obverse showing strong doubling on the date or lettering could easily bring hundreds, depending on clarity, and grade off-center errors can also range from modest amounts to well over $100. If dramatic, and retaining full date, visibility clipped plankets, and die cracks add variety and intrigue and keep collectors on the lookout. Another factor is the copper content itself, since pre-1982 cents contain mostly copper. Each coin holds about 2 cents worth of metal value at today's prices, while it is illegal to melt them for profit. This intrinsic worth means that even ordinary worn 1975 pennies have a base level of appeal, and collectors often set them aside in bulk bags or rolls with an eye toward the future. The 1975 penny may not have a rare reputation, but it captures a moment in American coinage history. The nation was preparing for its bicentennial celebration just a year later in 1976, when quarters, halves and dollars would carry dual date and special reverse designs. The penny, however, retained its traditional look, quietly bridging the past and the future for many people. The 1975 penny was simply part of everyday transactions, but for collectors today, it can represent a charming link to that era. Now the price of circulated coins remain worth only 1 cent. Uncirculated red mint state examples average between $5 and $15. High-grade MS-67 pieces can bring several $100s, and exceptional MS-68 red examples have been known to exceed 3,000. Proof coins range from a few dollars to over 100 in cameo and deep cameo form. Era coins, like double dies or major off-center strikes, can command hundreds.